Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? On this Thursday, March 10th, 2022. Not much has changed overnight. Not much at all. Good morning. Good morning, Ron, Byron, Fred, Aaron, B Bond, RS, PS. Good morning. Dick, hi. Chip, how you doing? JB, John. So, really, seriously, not much has changed at all in the market. We are still in a very clear downtrend here. And this morning I've been sitting here staring at the charts for quite a while actually, and it just kind of making little notes everywhere. And the market is just simply chopping around. Swings that clip stops is what it is. I'm in that area right there for sure. And we still have a bullish piercing candle. There's still hope. We have not broken down below that bullish piercing candle. The problem is what is out there that is going to give us that hope. And when it really comes down to it, we can look at a candlestick, we can look at price action, we can look at the news, we can look at whatever we want. We can scratch the belly of your dog and something can come to you and hey, this is what the market's doing. But when it boils down to it, there is one simple fact: the trend. One simple fact, and that's the trend. Follow the trend. And the trend is down. And until the trend changes, be very careful with those longs. There are pockets where the longs are definitely working. We're going to look at a couple today. Definitely out there. But overall, the market is down. There is a set of ticker symbols that I think is, we don't talk about them nearly as much. And I used to use them a great deal more than I do now. And I don't know why, so, maybe I really need to do this. And I still trade them, just maybe not as heavily as I used to. When shorting, first of all, most traders are trained and more comfortable going long. This is one of these facts, okay? I know there's somebody out there that's Joe Short, but Joe Short is far and few between. Most people look for longs, okay? So when the market starts to move down and you start looking for shorts, this mentality in your mind is it got to change a little bit. And shorting is just not as simple as turning a bullish chart upside down. Just not quite as simple as that. So what happens, you start looking for shorts. Well, some really good places to go is the market itself. So let's short the SPY, right? Well, the problem with doing that is there's a whole lot of folks that cannot afford $422 to short the SPY. There's other ways to do that. There's SDS, the inverse ETFs, okay? These are terrific tools right here. Absolutely terrific tools to short the market. And the reason I say going to say the market itself, you don't have to look through hundreds and hundreds of stocks. They're really simple. They're always right there. You're looking at them all the time anyway. And it's just a great way to do that. Some dog, if you want to short the Dow here. Look at dog, $34 versus, say the diamonds here of $329. So these are good instruments, and there's a whole slew of different ones. Here's TZA if you don't want to short IWM. So there is this 3, and there's, like I say, there's a whole slew of these. If you keep an eye on them, you can quickly get into those shorts very fast, and you're only monitoring a dozen at the most. Half a dozen would probably be just fine. So they're really quick, real fast to just do it. You can see it real quick. Anyway, just a thought. I just want to, bring that to mention here. So, alrighty. Again, I think the thing to keep in mind is we're just chopping around swings that clip stops, and we're still in a downtrend. That simple. Oxy is set up to move a little higher. A trend will stay a trend until it's no longer a trend. And while some people might think that's kind of steep, I might agree with you, but that does not mean that we can't consolidate and then go higher. The consolidation breaks down the steepness. I had somebody mention that to me yesterday, was a stock like Oxy is too steep to trade. Well, that's what consolidation does. It takes that steepness out of it. It slows it down, it calms it down a little bit, and then it can move back up. So Oxy is set up to move a little higher. Woo is set up to move a little lower. Woo is, we're down through that 50-period moving average. The Trendicator has crossed through the 50-period moving average. I would say we have a blue ice failure here. You can, everybody's a little different as far as where you're going to enter the trade. If we were to put this right here and say, okay, if we fail these lows, then we're going to come down and look for a reasonably good target down there. I would say 1650. So it becomes the work of the trader to decide where you're going to short that stock right there. This is what most traders probably need to learn right here. It doesn't take a brainiac to see a trend. It doesn't take a brainiac to see that, we're setting up a short here. It's all about that entry. OLED is set up to the long side. OLED, nice big pop right in here. And we've just done nothing but consolidate. And the consolidation is still showing bullishness in here. There is a bit of resistance we need to get through. This might be one little area. There's another little area. And then up from there. Resistance is meant to be broken if the stock is strong enough and the conviction of traders are strong enough. That's what happens to resistance, and that's what happens to support as well. So in this case, you want to follow that price. If you start to see weakness in here, then we come up here and we start to fail, or if we start to fail in here, then we know that we don't want to be in that chart. However, if the bulls start to step in, they could step in anytime and start pushing us up. This is where we want to follow price. Trend is the king. Price is the king. They battle back and forth. If we just took the Trendicator and just followed it up like that, and then if we took the T-line and just followed the T-line up, you can see that the trend is still up. So now what happens? It's just a matter of getting that entry in there. And it's always helpful to have the market on your side. So if you're looking for long, it would be nice to have the market on your side. Pin is looking like a short. Here we're back down through that 50-period moving average. The Trendicator is down there. We've had a little hammer that has rallied up. That rally may be over now. The relief rally could be over, and we could see this drop down a little lower. The obvious places is going to be to test the recent lows, and let's go to a weekly chart. If we go to a weekly chart, we can take a look at, get back here really in the past, and maybe down here at 27 and some change down here. RKT is another short setup. It tried to move up, but then we've pushed back down. We're back under the Trendicator. T-line below the Trendicator. Everything's below the 50-period moving average. The overall trend is still down. Could we stop here and turn back up? We could. We want to wait for a candle in here to tell us a little more information. That would be That would be the thing to do maybe. But overall, I have to go with what the bigger trend is doing. And outside of just a relief rally, this overall trend is still down. Coke, look at Coke. That's down. Coke has had a nice run. This is a beautiful break of the 50-period moving average. A little consolidation. So far this morning, a little consolidation. We start to break through. That is where your short comes into play. There's nothing wrong, by the way, if you want to wait for price to move up here. And if it doesn't move up here, you lose the trade. Pretty simple. If you get into the trade, set your stop in. Next move down might be toward that 56.75 level. Drink of water here. ENPH, solar, is still looking pretty good. I suspect as long as energy is a problem, solar will have a lot of interest. The clean energy, not just solar, but clean energy will have a lot of interest here. Not a bad chart at all. Beautiful chart, in fact. A low to a high to a higher low. We're at that higher high. Trend is still up. Now it's just a matter of that entry. So the entry for a lot of people want to know where the entry is. The entry could be right now. Okay, the entry is 177.42. The entry, another good entry would be a breakout. An entry is elusive. Entry is it's magical to each person. It's not about, the trade is not about that. Okay, I've got to enter it at 176.83. If you're looking at ENPH, I'm going to assume that you're looking at this stock to move up. So your profit area is somewhere here, up maybe, like this. So you want to buy in this area. Some traders are going to look to buy on a breakout. A very common thing to do, especially for traders that can't be in front of the computer all the time, is they set triggers in their trading program that if ENPH was to move above 183.02, that would trigger a buy, and that would put them in the stock. Nothing's to say you couldn't do the same thing at 176.68. You could do that same thing. So we're all trying to negotiate the entry to reach that profitability up here. BBC looks like a short. Rally up. Nice chart, actually. And then whatever happened here, it got ugly. It pulled back up, but it could not make a new high. And now we're back below the 50-period moving average, looking at that blue ice failure there. One more stock, and then let's do a couple more. UPST, while this has been really big on the bullish list, now that it's broken down, I'm still having it on my bullish list, but to be bullish, we're going to have to get back up here. Now it's setting up for that possible short trade. Here's the trend if we're looking at price, something like that right there. There we go. We start to see weakness, then this might be a short. If it turns around, we might look at that long trade. Ultimately, it needs to break out of this top. So maybe the trade is not in here for the long side. Maybe the trade is up here for that long side, looking for it to go higher. So right now, it has a short look to it. I'm going to skip down a couple. FSLR. FSLR is also setting up. Nice rounded bottom breakout. Low, high, higher low, higher high, a little bit of consolidation. Again, it's just about where's that entry. The entry can be a breakout here, and I think the entry can be all the way down to the low of this candle right in here, just above the T line right here. So that's the entry. And then what we'll all be looking to do is make some money as it swings up. I have time for one more. And then if the rest of the list, if you go to the daily blog, you can go to the home page and click on the Hit Run Candlestick blog, and there's a full list there. And don't forget there's the Right Way option blog there as well. Let's take a look at, we just did a long, so let's do a short. Here's net. Net has been in a nice long term, month and a half or so, downtrend. We've tried to rally up and we can't get it. What I'm looking for is possible weakness here. If we get that weakness and we start to fall through that trend line right there, that looks like a short. This one is another one that's on that long list. And I'm just gonna, well, let's just do it like this right here. Anything in this area to the long side, I don't think is worth biting. We break out, however, that would be a different story, especially if we can start moving over 117.70, and that gives us numerous targets up here for a nice bullish move. The short side, we start seeing that short. That also gives us a nice move to the downside. Alrighty, again, you can check out, there's a few more on the list if you want to check out that blog. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you back here in a little bit when the market opens, all right? Remember that when the market opens, always try to watch and manage your positions first rather than jumping into anything. Always a good thing. Okay, you guys take care. See you in a few minutes.